I think I can confidently say that if I was ever in the situation that Emily Moreno has found herself in, that it would not take my daddy weeks to months to speak up on my behalf. I'm sickened by this. I don't know if this is going to make a difference for the voters, but I am sickened by every single member of the Republican Party apparatus on Capitol Hill that just has not come out and wholesale condemned it. I'm sickened by Senator Moreno. Where are your, what do they call, your kahunas? Okay, where's your spine?
Where's your self-respect?
Where's your self-respect, your self-esteem? There is nothing in this world that is worth your self-respect. I need the Republican Party apparatus across this country to pick it up, find it, because this is sick.
Yeah, and that self-respect has been missing since Donald Trump came on the scene, because what did he do? He set the standards for how you deal with someone within the Republican Party who has shown themselves to be of abhorrent moral character. As long as they deny whatever the credible accusation is, and then attack the accusers. And then everyone else in the Republican Party, either they defend and join in on the attack, or they put their heads in the sand and remain silent. That has been the MO for a president. He's shown by example with all of his credible, all the credible accusations made against him, the jury, how many jury verdicts now of things that he's done. He continues to attack, even despite that, even despite being adjudicated as an abuser of women, despite being convicted of a crime. He attacks the system, everyone else, and everybody else still falls in line with him. So those kahunas have been missing for a good decade now. And you're only seeing situations like this where there might be some pressure once, you know, the Senator Moreno finally said something. But they'll just hope that this thing passes, and they know that this may be a terrible example of this, but they know that character is no longer a requirement within the Republican Party. So there are others that will come along the way and will do this all over again.
It's a numbers game. It's about the seat. They don't want to do. They don't want to lose the seat.
They're only thinking about the next election. They're not thinking about who they are.
He only won it by 51% in the last election.
So at this point,
Democrats have been targeting it.
Everything is personal for Trump. And I think the shot that we played right before when Michael was introing this blog is a perfect example of this. Him talking about Max Miller. He's a very good person. Very good person. Let the families figure that out. I'm going to let the families figure that out. Donald Trump is one of the nosiest people on the world. He doesn't let anybody figure anything out by himself. But this abhorrent situation, he's going to stay out of it. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, he wasn't on the receiving end. He's not the person making the allegations against Max Miller. It's Emily Moreno. And so Donald Trump, for everything is personal. So unless he is harmed in this situation, if he is not the victim, the survivor of something, then he doesn't seem to care about it.
And even more, everything is personal. So when he says Max Miller is a good person, what he means is Max Miller likes me.
Right.
Max Miller is on my side. So I'm going to defend him no matter what. It's just an accusation, right? It's that same deflection that he can give and that other Republicans can parrot. That's all that it means.
Max Miller has, of course, denied all of these allegations.
I think it's important to also kind of level set here, because that screed that Mr. Miller put up is very sick. And it went on at one point to offer a dinner defense, which I want to place solely for the purposes of allowing Emily Moreno's voice through her spokesman to respond to it, because this is the thinking, very much to the point you laid out, Kimberly. Let's listen to Mr. Moreno in the first instance about the domestic abuse in his dinner defense.
So ask yourself, if I had assaulted her, would she have offered to cook me dinner 6 days later? Would she have invited me to spend an afternoon at the playground with her and our daughter?
Okay, so let that marinate for 2.5 seconds, because the important follow-up is what Emily Moreno's spokesperson had to say after and in response to that. It is despicable and abhorrent that Miller lied on an unhinged and humiliating video for their daughter to watch one day. No loving parent no loving parent would have ever used their daughter as a PR pawn to save their own political career. Miller can lie and spin on X, but he cannot do so under oath in a court of law. We are confident that justice will prevail. The fact that you would bring your daughter in that way, the fact that that's your response to those kind of allegations, what does that tell you about the man and whether or not he's fit for the job?
Well, it tells me that I disagree very much with the president, that he is a good person. This is someone whose father-in-law says he is in fear when he is left alone with his granddaughter. To come out with a statement like that, even if somebody is accused of something and they didn't do it, what do they say? If anyone was hurt, I am sorry. They show some contrition. They show some modicum of character. All he wants to do is fight for this seat. That's more important to him than anything else. I really need voters. I need the American people to recall that character used to be a virtue when it came to your political candidates and your public officials for a reason. You wanted people who were doing things for the right reasons, not people who would literally sell out their own family for power. And that's what this is looking like. How can the Republican Party stand behind him? I'm with Simone. This is just one of the most abhorrent things that I've seen in all of the years I've been covering politics.
Well, the Republican Party apparatus has clearly made their decision, but the voters will have an opportunity to make theirs. I think that the congressman is very clear.
Like Donald Trump, in 2016, when Donald Trump was running, the Access Hollywood tape came out, and voters in the Republican Party decided that it did not matter that the president of the United States was joking about allegedly sexually assaulting women. Then in 2020, after people heard all the things about E. Jean Carroll and all those things, and voters again decided in 2024 that it did not matter to them.
And it dovetails with the increasing focus not on working people or farmers and other than that, but this manosphere segment of the Republican Party that's all about big, strong men and women should stay in their place.